What's up, guys? I'm Frederick Gomez. Welcome back to Dark Reviews. We basically talk about like anything anime related, like actual anime, manga, even anime related games. And some reviews and rants. Most likely rants and reviews because who doesn't want to hear someone talk for like 10 minutes about their thoughts on a certain anime or whatever. So for this week, it's another fan theory for called Geass. And if you saw like the past two videos, like on Friday and Saturday, it's gonna be Star Wars related. And yeah. It's because, with this fan theory I have, it's like my most complex and complicated fan theory, and I've been wanting to make it for the past 3 weeks. It's just I have to really like think it through like thoroughly with all the information we give you for this fan theory. And this will also include the Code Geass, OVA, the miraculous birthday. Then I'm just gonna say off the bat, that's my head canon. It did happen. That's just why it's called head canon, okay? So in that OVA, basically, the Lelouch and his friends like Zaku, Shirley, Rolo, Nanali, C2, Ribble, Ashford Academy, and there's kind of like a terrorist attack going on there, and they basically have to stop the terrorists, and because they took over the school, or whatever, and yeah, basically that's what the OVA is. Oh, and happened on Lelouch's birthday, too, you know. And here's the fan theory. Like, my fan theory is, like, Lelouch's possible Geass abilities if he has Green Geass. Because, like, in the, trailer, it showed he kind of has Green Geass, and this is my theory on what his Green Geass abilities are. And also, like I said before, I feel like Green Geass is lower than Blue Geass, but more powerful than Red Geass. Because, makes sense. Why not? So, yeah. And anyway, let's begin. This is going to be super complicated. So, in Star Wars The Last Jedi, Luke used I'm gonna call it force projection, where he was on another planet and he force project himself to where Kylo Ren is, by a time for the Resistance to escape. And basically, Luke was kind of like somewhat facing Kylo Ren with his force projection, but he wasn't really there, even though he looked actually physically there. And that's basically it. I thought it was like so cool how Luke did that, just to show how powerful he is, and how he's like basically like a Jedi Grand Master, like Master Yoda was. And yeah, it was like an awesome force ability Luke had. And here's how I think this could be like one of Lelouch's possible abilities for Green Geass. So it turns out like at the end that like this is what I think. So Lelouch is obviously still alive. You saw if you found or saw the original Japanese ending for Code Geass Season 2, he's still alive. He was the man driving the car and C2 was on the back. Say, sometime, that event, that terrorist attack did happen, and, since his friends were in distress, we'll say, Ribble, Nonly, whatever, and he decided, to use his Geass ability, project himself from where he is, I would say, Australia to Japan, to help his friends from that terrorist, because, the world thinks he's dead, because, and he went out dying as, the villain, he became the enemy for the entire world. And yeah, which is why he made a projection of himself to help out his friends. And so, that's what I think, one of the abilities he has. Projecting himself. And here's the thing, because in The Last Jedi, Luke died doing that, because, it was a very powerful ability. But since Lelouch has code, possibly, he can pretty much die as much as he wants, pretty much like C2. Anyway, okay. Now here's, possible second ability he has. So, I think, okay, so, in DC Comics, there's a, kind of like someone of a villain named Ace. She can warp reality, the environment around her, even people. And, ironically, she died too, because, she was very powerful as well. And that's what I feel like, Lelouch can do as well. Because, see, in the OVA, the Miraculous Birthday, it's like, how I saw it is like, Lelouch kind of made that, with reality at Ashford to with all his friends. Even Millie was there, but she was as a news reporter, and she was outside of the high school, report the news. And cause see, Lelouch in season 2 said that he will like shoot fireworks with his friends, because at that moment that was when Colin was like staying with the Black Knights, because now they know like she's with the rebels, and Nina was working with the Bataran Empire because she wants to avenge Princess Euphemia, and yeah. So basically, how I feel like Lelouch's possible Geass ability is weapon reality, because basically that almost looked like it didn't happen, and it was like his final farewell to them, to his friends, to not only to Rebel, because how he left out, like how he first died, he basically died, got murdered on like kind of like live television, basically, and all his friends, cried over him, and that was like the miraculous birthday was like his final like official like proper way of saying goodbye to his friends, because the world hates him, but he wants to leave a good impression on his friends, and his is third possible Geass ability. That's why I feel like because he possibly has three abilities. He might have three of them or possibly one of them, but it's just a fan theory. So I feel like this will be kind of a stretch, like kind of like Lelouch can somewhat contact the dead, like spirits, or whatever, because he was in C's world, and basically C's world is like pretty much collective consciousness, whatsoever. And he did like a certain thing in the season 2 finale where they show like not only like what his true goals of what he was trying, basically why he became like the enemy to the entire world, and why he did the things he did. He pretty much did it all for her, and not only started crying because he died, her only brother. But then again, there's Schneider, but her real brother, her full-blooded brother. And she said she would have been happy if they was just the two of them together. Basically, she used C's world to show all his memories of why he did the things to become the world's enemy. He did it all for his sister. World peace. Until season 3. So yeah. Because in the OVA, Shirley was there and Rolo was there. But the thing was, they were dead. So, but since he did that special like ability with C's world, I feel like he can somewhat contact, bring people from C's world and make them come with them. Because the Miraculous Birthday was basically like I said, his final goodbye to all of his friends, and he wanted all of them to be there. Because he did make that some promise to all of them, like Shirley, Rebel, Suzaku. It's like trying to keep his promise, like what he made in season 2. And yeah, and in all in short, he all his 3 abilities I think he has. Projecting himself from another area, like Luke did in The Last Jedi, His second ability is like, some weapon reality, because, whatever happened in, the OVA, I feel like, didn't exactly happen, but all of them were there. Just everything kind of shifted back to normal, because at the end, Colin was with, like, it's kind of, like, then it was kind of complicated, Like I said, my head can whatsoever, and moving on. And third ability was is contacting the dead. Like Shirley Relo, because since they're dead, and I feel like like his Geass' weakness is like if it is like projecting himself, then he possibly like have a heart condition like with Rose Geass. But then again, since Lelouch possibly has code as well, then Lelouch can pretty much die as many times as he wants, like C2. So Lelouch will pretty much keep on dying and dying again, but he's got possibly code, so he's good. So pretty much almost overpowered. And that's my full fan theory. This is the most complicated fan theory I made. It's very complex with a lot of different elements about The Last Jedi, a character from DC Comics. And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked it. Try to give as much information as possible. And yeah, bye.